Alright, everybody! Today, the Way of the Artist has the immense pleasure of welcoming an artist I personally have known for nearly 20 years. He's more than a friend, his family. He's known for his eclectic guitar playing, at times ferocious, sometimes romantic, heartfelt and painfully sad guitar solos. The musician in question today also sings and writes songs. And I know you play a bunch of other instruments. With great success, this musician has answered the call to keep the jam scene alive and well in the South Bay. Main man at the jam in Hermosa Beach, California, the South Bay Jam, the great, the unique, the visionary, the artist we all wish we were, my brother from another mother, Barclay Roach!
Hello.
Man?
What's up, chica?
Everything is great. Everything is fucking great.
Yes, man.
So how's life?
Life's good, you know.
Do you hate the quarantine?
I hate that I can't play gigs, but like I'm practicing the fuck out of my guitar and
That's good.
and writing songs, and I'm learning how to get better at recording and stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, there's no more excuses once the world comes back on and people say I don't have the time for this.
Oh yeah.
All that crap that you say you didn't have time for, you have it the time for
I
it now.
know.
So there's no excuses anymore.
He has enabled us to keep the excuses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I love quarantine. Quarantine's been fucking great. I can't complain.
yeah, the unemployment's running out, so there's that. But
Fuck.
I mean, I'm glad I saved up a little bit. That's for sure.
Well, if it all fails, we can always show our boobs on the
Yeah,
internet.
well,
No
that makes
problem.
one of us.
Hey, you never know. So what are you learning? I know that we were talking the other day, and I know that you got Pro Tools now.
Yeah, I'm working with Ableton. I got the Pro Tools
Did you
and
say
Ableton.
fuck off to Pro Tools?
Pro Tools pretty much said fuck off to my computer. And I got a new computer, and it's a pretty fast computer, but for some reason, it's just Pro Tools and it are not getting along.
Really?
Yeah. And I've talked to a few people, and they said, you know, a lot of the times, unless you have a super fast, like, high-tech machine,
Yeah.
Pro Tools isn't going to be
I was in a
happy with
session
it.
the other day, and that it was happening, you know, at Aaron's studio. It was happening. It was bang, you know, in the middle of the take.
Yeah.
But then today he figured out what it was. But don't ask me to explain because I don't know.
Yeah, I got the Ableton going, and I like it. I like it, you know. I've been working with. I'm micing my acoustics in the room, and I'm having a little interference at the moment.
What
Little,
do you
like I
mean?
can hear like AM radio.
Oh my God.
So that's one of those.
Leave it there would be hilarious.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, if I was just jamming my amp and just rocking, but I was playing like a really tender tune for a couple friends of mine, and they wanted me to
Yeah.
record for them, and like there's breaks in the back, you hear like KFI 1070. Here's
Oh
your weather
my
report.
God.
Like, shit.
No fucking way.
Yeah, but it's just an interference. It might be the way my place is wired or something, but
Yeah.
other than that, Ableton is really easy to use.
That's crazy how this interference shit works.
I know. You know,
Out
like,
of nowhere, like, am I hearing voices?
yeah, it's like guitar players know this. If you kick on a fuzz pedal, this fuzz pedal, they get a lot of static and a lot of noise. Kick on a fuzz pedal, you can like get the weather.
Oh
Like,
my God.
It's like, oh yeah, it's loud and right
and
up
clear.
front. Sometimes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to just keep that on the track. That would be funny.
Wow.
So you're working from home. You're just doing all these recordings from your home studio.
Yeah, doing recordings, writing. You know, the hardest part has been for me lately is kind of getting the lyrics
Yeah.
together for me. Like I'm always doubting myself when it comes to lyrics.
But you're really good
Thank you.
with that stuff.
Thank you. I know when I got something that's
Yeah.
fucking good, but
Right.
like when I'm sitting there and I'm looking at some things, I'm like, well, that seems a little far-fetched or like fake, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to use like "Ooh, baby, you drive me crazy. I'm begging you, please, on my knees." You know, I'm so tired of hearing songs that have the same rhymes.
See, that's the thing, and that's why I listen to different kinds of music all the time, because it opens up a new way of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially. Yeah, I have always thought, you know, if you want to become a better writer, you need to read.
Yeah.
Read books. If you want to become a better songwriter, you need to listen to songs, and not just listen to songs, but learn them. You know, go learn some Beatles songs from like the mid era. You know, like from Help to you know, White Album, and just look at some of those. Those chords, they don't really look like they belong to you. They're like, these chords just shouldn't fit. And if you were to just try and come up with your own shit with that chord progression, you wouldn't find the melody, but they found the melody. Yeah. So it makes you really think about how chords work together, how melody works with chords, and like, but you have to listen to music to be a good player.
And how much it is that you need some stretching. Sometimes we need to listen to new stuff to stretch our ears. Mm-hmm. Our imagination, you know, like you just said, putting chords together with other chords. So I've had this happen before. I'm on stage teaching a song to the rest of the band, and the guy goes, "But it's a major scale. This is a chord you're telling me," and he's telling me as he's playing it, it's not gonna work, and it's working as he's saying. He's like, "This is crazy." It was a Hall & Oates song, Sarah.
Oh yeah, Sarah Smile.
Yeah, somehow whatever was happening in there, he's like, "Oh, it's not gonna work. This is wrong. And he's playing and it sounds right, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I see."
The funny thing about songwriting too is, you know, people say you don't need all these crazy chords. You can do it with 3 chords and just have great melody and lyrics, and you're like, yeah, but not all of us are Tom Petty, asshole.
Or
you know?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like, not everybody can just do that. Some people, and not every song needs to be 3 chords. I mean, not every song needs to be 25 different chords either.
Yeah.
It's, you know, but I always know I usually base it off of either a riff or a little like 3 or 4 chord progression, and then you can't just keep that the whole song. Sometimes you can, but
Dreams.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But, you know, that's fucking Dreams. So they're like, you know, that's when you know you got it. But also, when you're writing and you need to go to a change, you need to go to a change that makes sense. Yeah. You go into a chorus or you go into a bridge, they need to make sense compared to the rest of the song. If you got just like a G, C, D kind of thing, and then you start throwing in augmented chords and shit in your chorus, it doesn't really... So that's one of my challenges, you know. I'm like, I got a song. It's 4 chords for the verses, and like, it's in the Dorian scale and Dorian mode, and I love it. Yeah. I think it's killer sounding. Yeah. But then when I just gotta find a chorus, but it's gotta be a simple chorus. So those are the challenges that I'm kind of finding, and I'm most of the time now, I'm getting melody and I'm getting structure down, and then I'm going with fucking lyrics because. They've been. Totally. It's I totally have writer's block when it comes to lyrics at the moment.
It depends where you are at that specific moment in your music, you know. For example, last night I wrote so far 2-chord song, but I feel like I need a chorus, even though sometimes you don't. Sometimes after you looked for so many things, you go like, fuck, nothing is really working. Maybe it's time to break the rule and make this work as a chorus with the same chords, you know, or, you know what, fuck it, the song's not gonna have a fucking solo, or I'm not gonna write a bridge for it doesn't need, you know.
Or you can use the same chord, but with a different bass note.
Oh, definitely.
You know, these kind of different little things, because if you're playing something that is simple with your verse, when you go into your chorus, it can't be complex, or vice versa, you know. You need to keep it simple. If it's a 2-chord verse, then like, very simple in the chorus, because then it sounds contrived.
But then it's all music taste, and again, where you are at that time. Sometimes you feel pretty complicated. Yeah. So you write complicated, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have the whole song in your head, and you go like, bam! I'm just transferring to the guitar everything I'm feeling. And I already heard the song in my head. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just writes itself, but most of the time it's a pain in the ass.
But when it comes to lyrics, for me, if I have a sound in my head of a song, I like to just translate it to the guitar, and then the melody just comes usually right away for me, and then I have the phone, you know, everybody these days has 1,000 fucking recordings, you know. These voice memos were made for us.
Yeah, I went through and graded them all. 1 to 5 stars. The 5-star ones I'm going to work on first, yeah.
I usually write good ideas. In these days, I've been better at it to actually go back to them and, you know, write them. But I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, you were talking.
Oh, and then I usually go back to lyrics I already wrote and didn't have any music, because sometimes that happens too. And then I go back to the song and try to fit that in there. And if I have to try too hard, then it's not gonna work. And I already know it. I'm not gonna use it.
You want to hear some of my working titles? For
yeah, of course.
Okay, I got bluesy, E minor ethereal, 70s pop, more funky shiz, minor ethereal, funked up, $1 bill with Tati.
Hold it, play it over here.
Oh my god.
When you get so all your dreams are come to fight. What the hell?
I don't remember when that was.
Isn't there a date in there?
I got one called I'm Weird.
I'm Weird?
Yeah, because
you wrote that one.
That was in 2016.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I got trippy shit, poppy shit, jammy riff. Out of a Tarantino movie.
Oh my god.
You gotta remember it somehow.
You do. It's funny how we associate stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because I come up with like a little chord progression or a chord progression and melody, and then like I record it and then I forget about it, and so at some point you have to go through and catalog this shit and get it moving in the right direction, or just leave it behind.
Man, I feel so bad for the people that lose this stuff.
Oof.
Or like, lost their phone, or the cloud. Nobody understands the cloud. The cloud fuck.
I'm sure everyone's done this, even though we have our phones to get all our shit down. I can't imagine what it was like when you're out without something to record and you came up with something badass, and then you forgot it because you couldn't put it on your phone.
And you're like so drunk.
Yeah, all the great tunes that never became.
That's a great album title.
Yeah, right.
Go back to all of the shit you never recorded.
It's unreal.
But, so, because we can't play gigs right now, but there are gigs out there. Have you played live so far since?
Yeah, I was.
For people, real people.
Yeah, well, at first the whole thing, when it all happened, I immediately thought, oh man, I should get together and do a like a live stream thing with it. And then I looked and like Justin Hopkins had already done it, and Nate had already done it. I'm like, I've been playing so many gigs, like 5 a week, 4 to 6 a week for a couple of years. I'm like, everyone's got to kind of be sick of me right now. I said, you know what? I've saved up some money. I'm not going to be hurting too bad.
Yeah.
Give my voice a break, get a little vacation from everything, and kind of regroup. And so I didn't jump on the live stream train. I've done 3 or 4 of them.
And it was super cool.
Thank you.
I told you, it sounded great.
Thank you. And it's only because people have asked me to do them, and I'm glad they did. I feel fortunate for it, and I'm glad I did it. But
it wasn't because of work. It was because you wanted to do it.
Yeah, it was good to give everyone a Barclay break.
You were burning real hard there.
Yeah.
Between the gigs with your band and solo gigs.
Yeah, and residency, like open mic at Patrick Malloy's, and then of course the jam on Thursdays, and then playing Hennessy's all the time, and playing Oh, one-offs everywhere in private parties, and
You're crazy, man. I was looking.
What are you talking about? You play the same amount of gigs as I did.
We did. We were fucking burning hard. Sometimes even before the jam, which we're gonna talk about, you were coming from another gig straight to the jam.
Oh yeah.
How many fucking times have you done that in the last 2 years?
Probably
Not
20.
just a jam.
Yeah.
Everywhere else,
I know.
Because you have to pick up the gig when
Gotta
the gig's
make
there.
that money.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to be booking gigs fucking 6 months ahead.
Yeah.
But it's because, what's it called? The residencies allow us to do that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I had the week they started shutting everything down was so the last gig I played before everything shut down was the jam. It was on March 12th.
Holy fuck.
So I had 12, 13, 14, and 15, and I'd already had the 11th. So 11 through Wednesday through Sunday booked.
Right.
And it was like big money gigs, It was like
wow, that's good.
like something well over $1,000,
Wow.
And then the Friday got canceled, and then like an hour later Saturday got canceled, and then the Sunday got canceled. And I was like, well, this shit's real now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I closed up my fucking whole thing too. On
Yeah.
the 12th, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Saturday?
The 12th was Thursday, and then the 14th. So everyone was kind of having like St. Patrick's Day
The
parties
Saturday
and
was
shit.
my last one.
Yeah.
With Phoenix Rising
Yeah.
at the Lighthouse.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked, but at the same time, like, what else can you do? So
Nothing.
Yeah. At this point, it's like, well, when? I mean, when do you think?
I think fucking summer of 2021, maybe.
I'm thinking probably maybe a little earlier. I'm thinking like April of next year.
Okay, I hope so.
But I booked
this year
it.
go back so fast. I mean,
Yeah.
by so fast.
Yeah, I know. It's
over,
insane
right?
how quickly this is going. Even though we're sitting at home most of the time,
I know.
it's still flying by.
Yeah.
But I did. I just booked one today for end of this month and playing a little house party, like private party.
That's cool.
So get those little gigs in when you can.
Yeah, I've done some of those, front yard, backyard,
Yeah.
gigs, and just one musician. I've been doing the hotel, it's just one musician. I'm far away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
good.
worried.
Yeah.
As long as, government keeps paying my bills, I'm fine.
I know. They took down the PUA money, the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance.
They did,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Boobs.
Yeah, lucky for you.
You can be on the other side. You can be hiring. So you're writing some stuff and you're recording. Are you going to record the stuff and release?
Yes,
Yay.
I am. Just kind of getting the ideas down.
Hey, if you need a singer for do back vocals for you, I sing.
Sweet. You need a guitar player, you know where I am.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I've been practicing a lot too, and I know that any musician out there who's worth their weight, is really working hard to get better right now.
I think so too. Yeah.
Our good friend Al Kim, I saw him like the week that everything shut down, and we're like, man, this is gonna suck. He's like, yeah. He goes, just practice, man.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and I looked at him. I was like, oh, I'm practicing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying like new things, like I know some of our friends I've talked to are trying to jump into new different types of, like our buddy Chris Hanna's doing some jazz stuff. He said I'm working on getting better at hybrid picking, so
awesome.
like bluegrass, rockabilly stuff.
Yeah.
Danny Gatton lessons and stuff. So I'm getting better at that, and and just like I don't know. This is the time when you can really sit down as an artist and go, what do I really want to learn? I mean, there's nothing stopping you. If you want to learn gypsy jazz or right, or you want to get better at flat picking or learn jazz theory or play classical, it doesn't matter because you have all the time in the world to do it.
You do.
So I spend time with my girl Meg, and I'll be playing. I'll play during the day while she's working from home, and then we sit down, watch movies or TV, and I'll just kind of have my electric guitar real quiet and just working on the finger movements because.
Yeah.
There's no. I always say people always ask me. It's kind of a joke I use with people, and they go, "So I want to play guitar. I want to play guitar like you. What do we got to do?" I said, "What does it take?" And I go, "Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and you have to have talent and ability. And if you don't, I'm not saying I'm the greatest. I'm not the greatest or anything, but I've been playing this shit for 30 years.
Yeah.
I should be good by now. I fucking better be.
You're very good.
But and so it's tough. There's no shortcuts, But I want to get back to what I was saying a minute ago. If you're sitting at home, you're working on these patterns or you're working on these scales, you can do it sitting there watching the TV with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and do it really quiet on electric guitar. And because there's no substitute fingers on strings. That is it for a guitar player, right?
And fucking learn the goddamn theory.
Yeah.
I just started relearning it right now. I finally am understanding some things. And it's the tiniest little things that will make the biggest difference. Mm-hmm. Like just, for example, I'm right at the beginning right now. I'm back for the third time at the beginning with the circle of fifths and fourths, and knowing the flats and sharps. Obviously, that's what that is. Right. And just yesterday, sitting on it, and I was like, okay, cool. So this song is in C, which it was, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it has no flats, no sharps, and then I'm thinking about all this thing that I just studied last week that is already helping me, So if you're gonna fucking start the right way. If I could tell myself one thing, was to have learned theory way back and stop, losing time, wasting time. Wasting time.
So true. And there's a good way to learn it, and you can learn it fairly simply. Like I'm watching a lot of videos too, like a lot of videos on certain techniques and stuff. There's this guy named Guthrie Trapp. He's like one of the best Nashville players in the world.
Awesome.
And he's a killer guitar player.
Oh, yeah?
But he's like, I don't really know theory that well. And he's like, he dumbs himself down because he's one of the best guitar players on earth. But, he uses the caged system, which I'm sure you probably know for guitar. For lead, it's like, what he says is, how you solo is you base it off of the chords you're playing. Yeah. And it sounds simple. And it is simple if you really apply that way, but
he sat down and he knows the guitar very well.
Yeah, you have to know it, but that's what I'm saying. You can just sit at home and still spend time with your significant other, and have your guitar in your hand and just
I do that very often too. Actually, I sit here and I just go blah blah blah. Turn the brain off and just let the muscle work.
Oh yeah,
And it's been working wonders. Because I've been picking a lot, but I find that I like picking with my finger rather than my nail.
Yeah, well, you don't want to pick. On your right hand.
Yeah.
Well, I really wish that I could pick with my nails, but my nails get shredded.
Mine
I guess
too,
they're kind of thin or something.
strumming.
Yeah, I know Aragorn, of course, uses acrylics.
Yeah.
He's got the pointed tips, and he ain't playing around, man.
And a lot of my friends do.
Yeah.
Actually.
I don't like the way my fingernails personally sound when I hit the string. So when I'm using like the hybrid, I'm using my middle finger and my ring finger on my right hand, sometimes a pinky, when I'm picking, and I like that snap that your skin gives. Pop! Kind of sound like when you hear Stevie Ray Vaughan hit those.
Yeah.
He's using the skin on his fingers because it has this really.
Richie does never use
he doesn't use a pick, huh?
At all for
That's
anything.
insane.
Motherfucker is a fucker.
That's insane. Does he
Just hand, and he doesn't have long nails. No?
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
I know. That guy can sing too.
Yeah.
Talking about singing, how's your singing? How did the singing started? Because when we were playing together, I started my career with you.
Yeah.
You were the first guy I, started playing with, and we've been friends since, and we played the jam, and you didn't sing that much in the beginning, and then you started developing, this stuff. We would go to your house, and you would sing and stuff. But at the shows, you didn't sing that much. But you sing a lot now. You're a lead singer now.
Thank you. Well, it's funny because Meg always bags on me. She goes, I said all I ever really wanted to be when I first started was I just wanted to be a lead guitar player in a rock and roll band. That's all I ever wanted when I was a kid. I didn't have high and mighty sights. I just wanted to play rock and roll and just have fun as a guitar player. And she goes, oh, so you didn't even want to be a singer and you just happened to be a singer?
Yeah.
And that's not really how it worked. But what I learned is that my ear was picking up a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And when I was playing the guitar and I was hearing the intervals and playing solos, I could really, it trained my ear.
Yeah.
To train my voice to be able to hit the notes on pitch. It was the guitar playing and the phrasing that I used on the guitar that helped me become a singer.
That totally makes sense.
You know, I didn't have the technique down whatsoever. I mean, I didn't get that for a long time later.
Me too.
Yeah, so I still have those audio tracks of you and me partying 15 years ago.
Oh my God, I got it.
And your English is terrible.
It's still terrible.
So bad. No, it was so bad. I remember you used to say, instead of saying this sucks, you go, this is suck.
Oh, that's cute.
Your English was terrible.
But I was already cursing. Then.
Yeah, and my singing voice was so bad. I was like, singing up here, and everything was pushing, and I was like, didn't have a clue. I didn't know how to project. I didn't know how to use that. Everything was head voice. I didn't know how to use chest voice. So there was a lot that I had to learn, you know, but developing my ear to be able to sing by playing guitar all the time is what developed it.
Well, yeah, because you know what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
You know what the note is.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you copy it by singing. And if you didn't sound like the guitar, if you were playing with the guitar and singing and you sounded like, you know, not good, then you're like, okay, one of these are out of tune.
Yeah. It's so singing is so weird to me. It's like you can just constrict your voice or move your vocal cord and you know you're going to hit that note up there with no problem. Mm-hmm. And you're going to do that run right there and all those notes are perfect. Like, how did we know? How do our brains know how to do that?
It's definitely brain and then muscle.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I'll be singing and I'll do like a run downward. Yeah. And I'll go, God, that was perfect. How the hell did I do that?
How did I do that?
I don't know how that happens. Or when you're like singing at one note and you just punch up to one other high note and you're like, God, you don't scoop up to it, you just hit it. It's like, man, how did I do that?
I'm good as fuck.
It blows my mind. It's just, but singing to me is gravy. Like, all I ever wanted to be is a guitar player. So I'm really happy that I can sing because it's good to be able to do solo gigs.
It is.
Because I wouldn't be able to pay my rent as a musician if I didn't do solo gigs.
Me neither, man. I was still fucking bartending.
Yeah, because then
you too.
Yeah,
we used to bartend.
Yeah, yeah. Because you only have to split the money one way.
Yeah, and if it is so great to be able to be independent. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, if someone offers you a gig, you go like, sure. Mm-hmm. I can only pay one person. You're like, cool. You get two because I'm a guitar player and a singer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you and I are the opposite. You play really well the guitar. And you want to learn more singing, and I'm the opposite. Yeah, but we still fucking do.
Singing is my second language.
Singing is my first language. I'm still learning, though. See, Maya's is in every single freaking episode.
Yeah. My whole thing with singing is that has really become my main focus when I'm singing is not to oversing.
Yeah.
Because you can hit the note a certain way. Like same with the guitar, I can hit the shit out of that note with the pick, or I can just hit the note.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get arthritis in my right thumb and my left index finger.
How do you know that?
Because I wake up and they're swollen every day.
Then I might have it on this thumb.
Yeah. You wake up with a swollen thumb?
This one, it's been hurting for a while. Oh my God, we're old.
Yeah, I know, huh? So, but if you take turmeric and fish oil, you'll be fine. Oh, okay. I take them and it just goes away. You could rub CBD oil on it. Oh, okay. But these are little things, so because I play the guitar so damn hard that I'm starting to realize if I want to play, I couldn't play 8 to 10 hours a day. I would I love my instrument so much, but I also have to have a life.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's good though.
I would get burned out. I know myself too well.
Me too.
I just want to play, I want to practice, I want to have fun with it. But once it starts to feel like a chore, then I would rather put it down and walk away.
Yeah, because you need to refuel the well.
Yeah, I like that fire to be there when I'm playing it, you know. I played for like 3 hours last night and I couldn't stop playing it, but I had to go to bed. So it's still there, but I don't want to suffer from overuse either. Right. Because you know that's we know some friends recently who've had those problems.
Yeah, and then you can't play.
You can't play at all.
Play too much.
Yeah.
But with the voice, you were saying you just try not to push.
I try not to. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got a little long-winded.
It's okay. That's why I drink coffee here.
I try not. I try not to oversing because I know that I can, and I hear myself back sometimes. I'm like, man, like a Neil Young. If you hear a Neil Young song, he's like, "Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you." He's not going, "Oh man, take a look at my life." You know, he's not screaming it. He doesn't. He's so mellow. Yeah. So like when you're singing it, just stay within yourself because you can hit the same note. To me,
volume. It's not a note.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand why I do it sometimes. If you're playing with a band that's really cooking, and you want to hear yourself and you want the people to hear you, you kind of like gotta put in the gusto. But
you do.
But you can't do that 5 days a week.
No.
You know, so I'm learning how to stay within myself.
Good. See, it's all fucking time on stage. It teaches all of this stuff.
Yeah, because I do feel like there are notes sometimes that I can't hit unless I... Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Unless I go for it and just like...
Well, it's just delivery, you know. You can still go really out there with it, really gut it out, but still preserve your health.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But it comes with, you know, calm. You gotta keep calm.
Yeah, I know. Keep calm.
In the most stressful
like Danny
time.
always said, keep your shoulders calm.
If you feel like you're singing it wrong. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't feel like you're singing, you know. That I also learned from her. And, fuck, it's life-changing, you know. Little informations that you can gather and have it there in the back of your mind for when you need.
It's crazy. Yeah, I never bargained to be a singer. And I love it, you know. Like, when I'm having a good day, it's like...
Yeah.
It's better than guitar.
Oh, my God.
When I'm having a good day. When I'm not, it's like, God... I just want to go home and cry.
You're telling me that? I know the feeling.
Oh my God! How many gigs have you like just muscled through?
Oh man!
Like, how am I gonna do this?
Just the other day, and then I came home and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sore. You know, I don't usually get sore, and then I'm like, why? I'm like, wait, I'm not singing as much anymore, and I'm still hitting the same notes. That's what it is. I need to go back to my vocal gym. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm out of practice. Like, I did that gig Saturday. I played, and part of that gig was, like, you can't use amplification. Oh. So I'm, like, playing outside of, like, Bedone's on
that's
almost
right. I was supposed to come, but I was in vocal rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm singing there, and, like, and people start talking and shit and getting loud. It's like, I'm not microphoned, so... Yeah. I'm just going to sing at my normal level, and if you can't hear me, you got to shut the hell up.
You know, the music lesson teaches that the quieter you get, the less people were going to like, be loud. So, like, every time I'm really trying to sing and the bar is loud as fuck, I just bring it down. And it's magical what happens. It goes, the whole place looks at you like you just told everybody to fuck off or something.
Well, you remember when we had strategically done You Got Lucky, that really slow, quieter version of the Tom Petty song You Got Lucky. Well, we did that song after our breaks. Remember, we'd play at Lido all the time, and there'd just be tons of people out there, shitloads of people, and they're just it's like 30 people having 15 conversations. It's just like... And competing for airspace, and so, you know, we'd always start with that song, and I'd extend the intro a little bit, and it'd be like, start to quiet down.
Yeah.
Start to quiet down. All of a sudden, it's just like
yeah.
pin drop.
Oh yeah.
Because that is true. I like when we do that at the jam. Sometimes have a song that is a mellower song.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to give everyone's ears a break sometimes.
Yeah, dynamics are important. Even to just give someone a break, even if it's yourself. Mm-hmm. You're like, fuck. I strategically, however it is that you say that word, make my set list like that, just to warm up my vocals. Okay, songs from 1st to 5th are gonna be this, and then I can cook up a little more and then go from there. But I never start with fucking Barracuda.
No.
Or Crazy on You,
Yeah.
or Dream On. Oh God.
Do you have set lists for your solo gigs?
No, I don't. But I know myself, so I usually start with I feel the place too, and if the place it's going off, then I start with Chain of Fools, which is a little I'm known for playing slow songs.
I know.
But fuck it, that's who I am, and I get a lot of work, so fuck everybody.
Yeah, no, I like playing slow songs. I like to. I mean, if it's like the Slip Bar on a Friday night and that place is cooking, and that place is like on a Friday night. Sometimes that place is like Party Town, USA.
I like playing there.
Yeah, me too. It's been a while, but but I'll just keep it cooking, the whole night long.
Good.
But some places, I'll start with like I don't know, something mellow. Yeah, so something mellow, like Wildflowers or that was a good one. That's what I got. But I also what I do is like my first 5 songs for sure are gonna be songs I know really well.
Yeah, totally.
And songs that are easy to sing.
Yeah.
It can kick my ass sometimes I'll just kick my own ass for some reason and pick like 4 songs in a row that are really hard to sing, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a break.
The ratio of this set is 4 songs.
Yeah, right.
A lot of solos. Yeah. That's a good ratio, though.
Yeah, right.
I have to play like 10 because I'm not soloing. And stuff, so.
Yeah, soloing when I'm playing solo gigs is. I mean, acoustic guitars are such a bitch to solo to, and they are. Your hands, you just feel like your fingers are gonna fall off.
Oh, I love it.
But I can, but
of course.
But that means I got to be really good at the looper, and I'm not very good at the looper.
See, this is your time.
I know. That's one of the things I need to get better at, for sure.
Yeah, the looper's fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, unless you have a really cool looper machine, then, it's kind of limited.
Now I got a good one, this Jam Man.
Yeah?
That blue one, the Jam Man Studio, it's killer.
Do you have different channels for your layers, or is all in one?
It's all in one.
Yeah, like mine. So if I mess one up, I'm all messed up. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can only do one layer.
Yeah, so you have to practice.
Yeah, what a good gig to get good with the looper is the Barney's Beanery gigs on site.
Oh
you can just solo for like 10 minutes. There's like nobody out here. You're like, whatever. When there was nobody out there, I would just lay down a loop and just solo.
Which Barney's Beanery did you play?
The one in Redondo. You played that one.
Did I?
The patio overlooking the ocean. It's beautiful up there.
I can't remember anything. I don't know how I still come back home after I leave. But how do you make your set list? Do you just pick songs that people like, or do you usually pick the ones you want to play? The music that influenced you. Who influenced you? It's all one question.
All right. Well, my set list usually, if I'm playing by myself solo, I don't have a set list. I have playlists that I've made on my chord chart, the app that I use, OnSong.
OnSong, yes.
Yeah, OnSong's killer.
It is.
And then so I'll just kind of scroll through that and see if there's anything I like, or I'll take requests. But with the other bands, I base it off of easy stuff. Especially when you're playing with other people, you need to get the groove. You need to get in sync as early as you can. So a couple easy softball type tunes,
Yeah. I just totally self-indulge myself.
Yeah.
I play stuff nobody ever heard. I don't care.
So my whole thing is, okay, so most people don't know who are, if they're listening, musicians, we usually play 4-hour gigs or 3-hour gigs if we're playing full bands. So if you play a full band, it's usually 9 to 1, like that's the standard around here. So 9 to 1 is a 3 set night. So you go 9 to 10, take a 15-20 minute break, and you come back, 10-20, you play till a little after 11, then you come back after 20 and play till 1,
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always thought, okay, the early part of the night, probably not going to be a lot of people there. Have some fun songs that you can like kind of chill on. Like, for one of my favorite songs is a song called Six Blade Knife by Straits. Super simple. It's pretty much the chord progression for Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Oh, yeah? Awesome.
But at A minor instead of E minor. And so songs like that, mellower songs, you don't want them to tell you to shut the hell up in the first set. It's always a bad look.
Yeah.
But stretch it out, let everyone solo a little bit, and then the second set's usually the cooker. You start at 10-ish, that's when people start going out.
Yeah,
and I want the second set to just be nonstop in your face. And then third set, first couple songs to be rockers, and then at the end of the night, it's usually like, who the hell knows what's gonna happen?
I don't fucking know exactly.
Yeah. Third set's always up for grabs. It's like,
I like that.
Most of the gigs that I make set lists for, we end up playing like half the songs on there anyway.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like, what's the point?
So who's the band right now?
What?
Who's your band right now? Who's in the band, the Barclay Roach?
Pink Roach is Jet Pink, Jake Roach, and Rich Kaler. Yeah, Jet's on guitar vocals, Jake's on bass.
Yeah.
Rich Kaler's on drums, and then Russ Gilbert plays with us sometimes.
Awesome.
On keys, and then myself. Yeah, we haven't played a gig. We played one a couple of weeks before it all shut down, and then the South Bay Jam is a lot of the same faces: Russ, Rich, Jake, me.
Yeah.
Jet's got the wife and babies at home, so he's not able to get out as much as he'd like. But we got Philip, of course, Philip Clark, keys, sax, and vocals, and you
and me.
And we flip it around. Sometimes somebody can't make it. We have a second guitar slot that we pivot a lot. Chris Hanna, Tommy sometimes. Cool. I love Aaron Custer. He's he's great.
Yeah, he's producing some of my stuff right now.
Yeah, great. Nate the Great LaPointe.
He's great.
And
you guys are all great. It's fun.
Yeah, and Shin. I miss Shin. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh my God, I know.
But I can't wait to get back. We might be doing something in the next few weeks. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but this South Bay Jam, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, am I included on this thing? I better be.
But let's mums the word until it actually happens. Because we're trying some stuff in the works right now.
We'll make a big fuss about it, and everybody will know. So if people want to know where to find you, what's the best way right now? Because I know you're not on Facebook for a few weeks because you got hacked. Is it better to find you on Barclay Roach Music on Instagram?
I am back on Facebook for the time being.
Okay, cool.
As long as everybody can behave themselves.
Okay, it's not a work then.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten hacked in a while too, so that's a good thing. So it's Barclay Roach Music, and it's great because that is at gmail.com. It's also Barclay Roach Music, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the same thing.
Cool.
All lowercase, and that's where you can find me. It's been an amazing ride being a full-time musician.
It is awesome, right?
I wasn't one until like 3 years ago.
We weren't, you and I.
Yeah.
And then we told our jobs to fuck off.
Yeah, my job closed down.
We never knew if we were gonna ever be able to be a full-time.
I know.
But then we made it happen.
I know. So I really want to get moving with the original stuff. My girlfriend, she's like, so when are you gonna write a song about me?
Oh my God, I had a guy like that. And I did. I wrote 2, but they were hateful songs.
Yeah. One thing I've been learning too is about how musicians write songs, you know. And a lot of the lines that they have about people they know. But they're really interesting. I saw this thing on Aerosmith the other day. They had a friend of theirs who went bald when he was 18 years old.
Damn.
And so there's a line in the song by Aerosmith called Mama Kin, and he says bald as an egg at 18, and they said it was about his friend, this guy who was a friend of the band's, and he hung up. I'm like, man, that is brilliant. Yeah. Because I remember I've heard that line for the last 30 years. I was a little kid. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Yeah. And then they said, I was like, oh shit. So it's just make fun of your friends in song lyrics, but be cryptic about it so they don't know it's them.
Holy fuck. Great. Hey y'all, prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
I'll be talking some smack. So back to the South Bay Jam. There was a few jams happening at that time here in Hermosa Beach, but then it no longer happened for a year or so. And how did you become the new host of the South Bay Jam?
Well, it's funny you ask because I was doing an open mic night at the Slip back then.
Right.
And I went, after a while I moved to Hermosa Saloon and then to Patrick Malloy's, which we are now. Well, will be when everything opens up again. So it was 5 straight years of doing open mics, which I'm pretty proud of. Yeah. But at that time, the standing room didn't have anything going during the week for live music. They had Fridays, Saturdays, and then sometimes Sundays, and they had just fired the guy who was doing the booking, so they wanted to start doing something new, and they approached me and asked me if I would do an open mic night on Thursdays. Cool. And I graciously declined being an open mic because I didn't want to take away from what I was doing at the Slip on Wednesdays.
Right.
And I didn't want to it wouldn't be fair to either.
It was
a conflict of interest, and I've even had somebody ask me recently to do it on a Tuesday. Yeah. And I think if I do that one day a week, that's all I can ask of myself. If I did it somewhere in Whittier or Carson or something, it would be a different thing.
Yeah,
but you're dipping from a small well of musicians. Yeah. And it would be too much to ask for myself to try and do that 2 nights in a row and bring a crowd. And it wouldn't be fair to either establishment. So what I did was I said, I remember telling my friends, I said, they just asked me to do an open mic, and I said, I'm gonna get them to do a jam. Yeah. And they're like, no, they'll never go for it. And I said, I think they will. I know they have a budget we have to work with. So I got back to him and said, hey, I can't. And I told him the reasons why that I just told you. And he's like, I understand. I said, but why don't we do a jam? Yeah. There's no jam here, man. And this was right when, because Steve Aguilar had his.
They had it, but they weren't doing it anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't happening for over a year. Yeah. And I was like, we need a jam again, man. Hollywood has the Ultimate Jam, and they got the what's the other one? Yeah, I've never been to either of them, but anyway.
It's not a Sunset Jam. Yeah. They're very play the song and that's it.
Yeah, and I
like our jam.
Oh, I love it. And so I told that, and he goes, well, we don't have the budget, and he said, well, what if I got some of the best musicians in the South Bay to come? And I guarantee it'll work. And I said, we'll do it for a lower rate.
Yeah, and, for now.
Yeah, and he goes, well, I'll give you two weeks in November of 2016. And I said, okay. And he said, if it works out then it's good. Okay, all right. So I brought a bass cabinet and bass. I brought drums. I brought 2 guitar amps, and they provided the sound, and it was great. Yeah. You were there. Yeah. And it was and then he calls me. He goes, all right, you got your jam. Yay. It's a small budget. I said it doesn't matter. So we got a great band, and then we started doing it, and then eventually got paid a little bit better. Yeah. So it started from an offer to do an open mic. Yeah. Which I'm really glad I was able to push them in the other direction.
To envision something
yeah,
else.
And I envisioned the way I envisioned it that day that he asked me to do an open mic. I was like, no, we can do a jam, and he's starting to consider. I'm like, this could be the coolest thing. We could do this and do that, and like we're doing it.
You envision the future.
It's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and because I've been to other people's jams, and there's a lot of things that we do that are similar.
Yeah.
But there are many things that we do that when I was at other jams before, I thought, well, that's not what I would do.
Yeah.
You know, and so I said, if I ever got my own jam, I would not do that. I would do this.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it.
Yeah, it's been rolling. Is it since 2016?
2016, yeah.
Holy shit. Time flies.
Isn't
man.
it crazy? Yeah, I tried to...
I was still in my 20s.
I tried to count, because I knew our 200th show was coming up. Our 150th was coming up. And I tried to count it, and then I got all screwed up because of this COVID thing. So I was like, damn it. So now I got to go back so we could really celebrate the 200th, you know?
Really? It's been
that?
Holy shit.
Yeah, because we do. I mean, we've only been off, before all this, you know, you always got to, say, before the COVID hit. We only missed, 3 or 4 weeks the whole time.
Yeah, because there was a private party one time.
Yeah, it was
and then it
4th
was
of July ones.
Christmas.
Yeah. That was about it.
But it was never canceled if it didn't have to. And the attendance was always.
Oh yeah,
you know.
It's insane. We did one on I remember New Year's Day was on a Wednesday, so we did the 2nd of January, and it was packed in there on the 2nd of January. I couldn't believe it.
Awesome.
I mean, by the time we started playing, I was like, "This is amazing." Everyone
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were there.
This year?
No, this was a while back.
Okay, good.
I was like, yeah.
I'd hate to miss that.
Yeah.
So the scene here in Hermosa, not just for the people that grew up here like you, but even for the newcomers, it's such a welcoming scene.
It really is, you know, and
it has so much work. There's so much work. Down here.
Yeah.
We don't even need to leave our town
it's crazy.
to go to work every day.
I know. It's insane. And what I love about our music community, and one of the things that I said I would do it this way if I had my own jam was make it a culture. Yeah. Make it an environment of camaraderie and brother and sisterhood and encouragement, you know? Because we have seen, in not just the jam, but in the whole South Bay community, friendships formed through music, relationships formed through music, bands formed through friendship of the music and the relationships. It's like, that is what, if we have anything that we have left on our mark on, it is that we are a brother and sisterhood and a camaraderie that exists.
It's a total family-oriented community.
Yeah. Because in a lot of places, there's lots and lots of competition. Yeah. And not just for gigs, but just for ego, to be better and be cooler and play faster and write better songs and be the best singer in the city.
Famous.
And none of that matters.
No. Here we're giving gigs away to each other just so you can, put your foot into a venue. Be like, dude, go take this gig so they can see how you play.
Yeah. And we help each other put food on our table, you know?
We do.
And it's not like that everywhere.
I read something yesterday on the fucking internet, and it said something awesome. It was, if you want to go fast, go solo.
Go slow?
Go solo.
Oh, go solo?
Yeah. If you want to go far, go together.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. So, you can get a lot of stuff accomplished by going by yourself. It's probably easier. You don't have to, wait for anybody. But having a band and having the community, it might take a little longer, but you're going to get far because you have the support.
Yep.
Support system here is huge. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And, that's one of the things that I just absolutely love about where we live.
Yeah, I do too.
And, it's crazy though. Like people and when we say the South Bay or the Hermosa music scene, we're actually talking about people from all over who come and become part of our scene. Not everybody lives here, you know.
I know,
like,
yeah.
You know, like Rich Kaler, he lives out in Burbank, and you know, a lot of these guys they don't, you know, Dave Maciel lives in Harbor City. And,
yeah.
You know, people live in other places, and they come to jam with us.
They come here just for that. Yeah, Aaron doesn't.
Yeah, Aaron Custer lives.
Is it Long Beach?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I drive there every week, and I don't know. That's aware I am.
But you know, I don't know, if you're cool and you love music, you're gonna fit in here.
Yeah. And if you just let it roll. Oh man, I miss the old times.
I know, but one thing I'm gonna tell you right now is that I am rusty as hell at performing.
Do you think you're gonna be nervous?
No,
I'm gonna be nervous.
When's the last time you got nervous for a gig?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I think I missed the jam for 2 weeks because I was out of town or whatever the situation was. Mm-hmm. But when I came back, I was kind of nervous.
Really?
I remember being nervous, so I was like, what the fuck is happening to me? These are my friends, you know? These are my brothers and sisters,
funny.
and these are my friends watching me. But I did get nervous. Really? So I'm thinking I'm going to get a little nervous when we all go back working.
I will be eager but not anxious, because I think the last time I got nervous once when I played at BB King's in Studio City.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was like in my early 20s, and then I don't know why, and I remember laughing at myself because that's really the last time I got nervous. But only one other time in my life have I ever been nervous for a gig.
Yeah.
And it was my first professional gig. I was playing for beer at a place which is now.
We've all been there.
Yeah. It's a place called Rebel Republic in Hermosa Beach. It was Mediterranean. It used to be called Brewski's, and I was like 21, and some guys that I worked with when we worked at PF Chang's, they wanted to jam with me and play with them that night, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then like I got so nervous.
Aww.
And
how cute.
I know, and I was looking at them going, guys, I'm really nervous, and they're like, yeah? They're like, dude, you're playing in front of like 8 people on the patio at Brewski's.
That is, like, it doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about, you know,
I was like,
I'm excited.
I know, I don't care. And then I remembered a line from a movie called Tin Cup, which is actually a pretty good movie, but it's a Kevin Costner movie. And he said, you define the moment or let the moment define you. And I remembered that line because it had just kind of come out at that point, and I was like, dude. And I thought of that, and I was like, I'm ready.
Good.
And so I think about that, and I tell people that line all the time. And another thing that I tell people,
I'm gonna be remembering that.
Do it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's like you define the moment. You make the moment yours, or the moment you're gonna be remembered for fucking up that moment.
Oh my god. Okay.
So because, and one thing I tell, I've been doing the open mic so long that I get a lot of nervous people there.
It's funny to me.
Yeah.
When someone is nervous, I'm going like, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
No matter how bad you do, you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's what's admirable about this moment.
Yeah. And like my buddy Chris Powell, he came to my open mic. He showed up before I did, and he goes, "Hey man, I'm Chris." He goes, "I've never played in front of people, man. I'm really nervous." He goes, "Can you get me on early so I can just go? There's not a lot of people here." I'm like, dude. Yeah, he goes, "I'm just really nervous." I said, "Dude, you're gonna be fine, man." And I kind of said to what I had said to my friend said to me is like, "There's like 6 people here right now. You're gonna be okay." He goes, "I don't care, man. I'm really nervous." I said, and this is one thing that I've learned that I tell people all the time. I said, "Look, there's nobody here who wants you to fail.
Yeah.
Nobody here is watching you is hoping you fail. Everybody wants to be inspired. They want you to rule it."
Yeah, they do.
Then he went to like every open mic.
It
got so good. He's
really?
Killer.
Do I know him?
You know his face.
What does he play when he plays?
He plays some Eric Clapton stuff.
Okay, I know who it is.
Yeah.
He's been coming late. The last shows at the Jam, he's showed up, right?
Yeah.
He does some Eagles and stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, not that guy. That's Mike Roberti. You'd know Chris. I'll show you a picture of him later. But he's my homie.
Is he cute?
He's a good-looking dude, but he's got a kid.
I remember who he is now. Edit this out. So, Barclay, just want to make sure that we let everybody know that we had a band called Swinging London.
Sure did.
We still do, right?
Yeah.
And we're releasing 3 songs that we recorded 1,000 years ago. But it's finally all recorded, and we're just waiting on masters. So that should be really cool.
I can't wait.
So we don't play as Phoenix, right? As
Swinging London.
We don't play as Swinging London anymore. But as soon as these tunes come out, we're gonna have to have a show.
I can't wait. We owe some people a show.
We actually owe all the backers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I mean,
I got Baxon on those drums.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! It sounds great.
Yeah, I can't wait, but I gotta learn those songs again.
Me too. I was trying to play one of them the other day just to remember, and I could not. I don't remember the chords anymore. Yeah.
I remember the chords. I think I could probably fumble my way through them.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's like getting on a bike, though. A song that you wrote, you can kind of
get
back to it pretty easily.
Yeah. So as soon as we can, we're going to be releasing a Swinging London. Swinging London, LA.com. It's where you can find the stuff once it comes out, right?
Yeah.
Is that a website?
I don't know.
I think so.
I left that up to you.
Besides, the music, obviously, it's like 99% of our interests in life. I know you love sports, and you like baseball. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals from Missouri, because you're from St. Louis, right? And you moved here when you were 5 years old, straight to Hermosa.
We moved to, so I was really pissed about it, because I loved my cousins and my uncles and aunts and grandparents.
Yeah.
And, but we came out here by train.
Oh my
God. And we moved to Manhattan Beach for 2 years.
Ah, okay, Manhattan.
So I went to kindergarten, first grade in Manhattan. And then I went to Hermosa schools, and then pretty much here ever since. And
you played anything besides the guitar when you moved here? Do you have any other interests? That's my point.
Yes, I do. Actually, musically, I can play a little harmonica. Banjo I could be better at. Yeah. Same with the mandolin, I can play a little bit. But one thing that I've actually gotten way better than I ever thought I would get at, especially by doing the open mic, is the cajon.
The cajon.
Yeah.
Cajon is awesome.
I'm actually looking to, when all this stuff starts up again, I'm actually going to start looking for cajon gigs.
Really?
Yeah, because it's one of those things.
You're actually good at it. I remember since the last time we've played with you on a cajon, I remember you can handle it.
Thank you, because it's one of those things I've always been like, playing the drums on my body and stuff, and then I'll sit there and kick with my feet. I used to play the drums on my fingers on like the dashboard or like the console or my table at school.
You're rhythm inclined.
Yeah, so I've been had an obsession with it. So I remember being at a party at Scott Goldman in Russ's house on the roof, and they had a cajon there, and people just kept jumping on it. I wanted to get on it, and finally somebody got off, and I jumped on it, and like as soon as I got on it, I understood how to play it. Uh-huh. It's one of the only instruments that I've ever.
But you play drums.
Not as great as I'd like to, because I just haven't put the time in, but the cajon is something that I feel like I got a natural knack for. So what I'm trying to do now is get better at playing and singing, so that I can do backups and stuff.
Like Seth.
He's so good.
He plays the fuck out of that thing and drums, and he's an amazing
He's
singer.
ridiculous. Yeah, we did a gig a couple weeks ago at Project Barley.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
It was fun. I mean, it's never not fun playing with Seth.
I know. You said it right there, right now. We should get a jam together, 6 feet apart, everybody, and
I know.
Have him on the cajon.
I'm in.
And you carry a mini harmonica on you.
Oh, I used to.
Where is it? It's not it? It's
no,
not that?
It looks like it, but
you have a pick.
Yeah. Yeah, it says the music is the sound of emotion.
But it is.
I had that.
Can you play with that? No.
You could if you needed to in a pinch, I guess. It's copper though.
Yeah,
so
that
it would have
would
a
ruin
funny sound.
That would.
Yeah, it'd probably shred your strings.
And the body of the guitar.
Mm-hmm. So have you been practicing your leads?
I have been. I actually have understood a lot of the guitar since quarantine. Spent time just trying shit out. And yes, I've created some solos for myself, for my songs. Even if it's just like a down, 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 and go back to strumming, you know. Just to have these textures
Something
there.
melodic?
Yeah, to take away from the blah, 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 da, 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 da. But I've been experimenting with strumming a lot in different patterns, and it's been such a joy. Because I love the acoustic guitar. That's my main instrument. I even experimented with bass. I laid some tracks on one of my demos. It's terrible, but it's me, you know, and I'm playing fucking bass. Like
the bass is a fun instrument. I mean,
yeah, you play the bass too.
I'd like to say that I could because I play guitar. I can do it mechanically very well, but there is something that all bass players have that guitar players who jump on the bass most often don't, and it's just like, it's just a feel, yeah. It's just a feel for the instrument. Some call it groove. I mean, I think I could lay down a groove, but not like some people could.
I've seen you playing the bass. You can play the bass. You play piano too, right?
No, I wouldn't say that I do. I mean, I can play some chords and stuff, but I took 2 classes in college on how to play the piano. And that was about it. I got C's in both of them, I think. So what does that say?
At least it's like, you know, right there, right? Yeah. Enough to pass.
Yeah, enough to pass. And then I took guitar class just to try to pick up chicks, you know. And like, yeah, you're just waiting for the teacher to get there. You get there early, you start ripping, you know. I was like, wow, you're really good.
Did that work for you?
No, it did not.
How old were you when you learned the guitar?
I started playing when I was 14.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah, I think.
Me too.
You know, I watch these videos of these savant kids all the time just ripping when they're like 9 years old.
I know, that blows my fucking mind.
But I also know that there's only so good you can get at the guitar. Like I saw videos of Joe Bonamassa playing when he was like 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I liked him better when he was 12 or 13 years old than I do now. You know, and it happens that way with some players. I think they just top out, and it's not that I like him better. He plays a little bit too mechanically for me at this point. I mean, I love him. I listen to him.
Yeah, you do.
But sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's so mechanical. And it's meant his guitar playing is like trying to dazzle you. You know, I want to say something, and I'm not saying I'm better. No way in the world.
You're feeling a lack of truth there, like originality, in a sense of this is coming from an honest place rather than I'm gonna dazzle you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people sit and go, I'm gonna write a song that is gonna be like a hit. And then some people go and write a song because, you know, it connects with people and people can feel that.
Yeah, like I'd rather like two of the most famous guitar players in the world. John Mayer, Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa sounds a little bit too much like Eric Johnson. John Mayer sounds a little bit too much like Stevie Ray Vaughan. But I'd take John Mayer over Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I hope Joe doesn't listen to this because I follow him. So.
Oh yeah, I follow him too.
And so you have like a family that is very musical. Both of your brothers are musicians, and your dad can sing.
He does.
And I love when you guys all play together.
Yeah, I know it's been a while. It tickles me. You know, we've done a few every year. In my birthday jam, we tried to get all of us up on the stage at the same time. You know, my dad and I, he would go to every open mic. Yeah. Every week, and he'd be there before I even showed up. Yeah. He'd be there like 8:00. Yeah. And it started at 9, you know. He was always there early.
He wanted to have his seats.
And then the funny thing is, most of the times I'd ask him, "You want to sing?" "Not right now." Yeah. "Not right now." And then later he'd just walk up I'm ready.
He's such a rock
and
star.
and our song together, was "Listen to Her Heart" by Tom Petty.
Listen to her. No, I was singing another. Listen to her heart. It's coming for you. Is this the one he sings?
What is that, Heart?
Yeah, I love tonight. No, and you guys do American Girl.
Yeah, that's the one that he loves singing.
He has some high notes that are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
and a man. But because all of you are musicians, did it come because of your parents? Is it something that he introduced to you guys?
Well, when I was as long as I can remember being alive, I can remember having an obsession about music.
Yeah.
It wasn't just something one of the things that I liked. It was the thing that I loved the most.
Yeah.
And even well before I was a musician.
Yeah.
It was like my obsession. Like as a little kid, my dad would play records too loud in the living room. Just crank the shit out of like Eagles, Little River Band, Fleetwood Mac, Bob Seger.
Tom Petty.
All that stuff. And so and
you listen to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, so that's how I absorbed it all.
Yeah. Pink Floyd? Did you listen to Pink Floyd?
My dad, not until I was a teenager did my dad start getting back into Floyd. But he would play all this stuff, and he would be sitting, he always sits in a rocking chair, and he'd have his leg over the side, and he'd be like, call me Boggs. He'd be like, hey, Boggs. I'd be like, what? He goes, check out this guitar part. And he'd do like an REO Speedwagon guitar solo, air guitar solo. And I'd be like, yeah, Dad, that's cool. Like 5 years old.
Cool.
There was a little poignant kind of moment when I was the second born. And my older brother Derek got everything. That's the way it usually goes in families. The older kid gets the good shit first.
True.
And we get the hand-me-downs, But my dad got a new record player, and he gave me his old one, not Derek.
No.
He gave it to me. I didn't really know what that meant at the time, but I guess he knew that I was totally just obsessed with music, and he let me borrow his records, So I remember playing like Foreigner, Head Games, Dirty White Boy, all that type of shit.
Of course, you were playing his records. Too.
Yeah, and I was like 5-6 years old,
Awesome.
So this is kind of where it all took shape, and then it gave me a transistor radio, and I just listened for music, and so as I grew older, kind of developed my own style of what I liked, and it was really eclectic for a long time.
How did you get your first guitar? How did that work? Did you ask for it?
I did. So I remember I was sitting again. I was 14 years old. My dad's in his rocking chair, and I was watching TV with my dad. And I can't remember another friend, and I was telling some friends this last night. Around this time in my life, everything started turning. Guitar was gravitating in on me, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Because I was, a couple of my friends played guitar, and they were bringing their guitars over. And my dad had gotten a nylon string guitar, and he bought a how-to video cassette. So that was in the house, and
it was inevitable.
It was just kind of swirling around me, and then we were watching the Eagles. Live back when Don Henley had a afro back in the 70s
awesome.
on VH1. And the solo, I'd known that song since as long as I can remember, Hotel California, but that part at the end where they do the harmonies, well, it's Don Felder's got the double neck SG.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh has got his Telecaster, and they look at each other in that moment when they're playing those parts, and they're just like carefree, and they both smile, and maybe one of them even says something.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And I looked and I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's it.
And I saw that, and then the words just came out of my mouth. I want to play guitar.
Wow.
And it's funny, I think about this very often.
Awesome.
It's because until those words hit my lips, it never really occurred to me to play guitar.
It was a realization.
And I'm like, it's all around me. How did I not figure this out yet? And as soon as I said it again. And my dad stopped rocking his chair, and he turned and he looked at me. And I said, yeah, I want to play guitar. And the moment I fucking said it, it became everything in my life.
It became real.
And then I was bugging the shit out of my parents because it was in like September and I had no money, so I was like, all right, Christmas. I'm like, Dad, Mom, Dad, I want this guitar. It's $180. You know, I didn't know about.
Oh my God, $180.
Yeah, I know. It's the Squire Strat. I didn't even know about an amplifier or cables or picks, whatever. I didn't know shit. All I knew was that one. You know, and I was like, I don't even need a birthday present. I don't need shit ever again. I'll never ask you for anything. Just get it for me for Christmas. And my parents, after a while, they're like, dude, we get it. Okay. I'm like, but did you remember that guitar? That's cool, huh?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, shut up, Barclay.
That's
so
awesome.
on Christmas morning, and just funny thing is, Jake was 12 years old at the time, 2 years younger than me. I was like, you should play bass. He didn't even know what bass was, you know. He was a fucking 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, but he wants to, you know, listens to his older brother, you know.
Totally.
It's like, yeah, I want a bass. He got a bass on Christmas. And now he's one of the best bass players in the South Bay.
Great.
And so, right, he didn't even know what he's doing.
No.
And neither did I. And so we got our instruments on Christmas Day. So we've been playing the same exact amount of time.
Wow.
And, you know, my parents said, God, we fought the urge to give you this back in September because we've had it since like the day after you said you wanted to play. Like, we wanted to give it to you early, but we just had to wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so
it
began. My brother and I took lessons from the same guy down the street. And, you know, it became obsession. And I'm just glad I still play, you know. I mean, for every one of people like me who play 30 years later, it was 30 years ago.
Wow. No, same thing with me.
Yeah, for everybody who does play, there are 100 people who don't play anymore, you know. I make a joke whenever I see somebody walking. I feel like a dick saying this, but when I see somebody walk out of Guitar Center with a guitar, I say, I'll be buying that from you on Craigslist in a year.
Evil.
I know, I'm such a prick. But it's so hard, you know, and that's the thing about guitar. It's so hard.
Man, when I got my first guitar, it was the same thing. I was always borrowing from Nayana, you know, borrowing from my friends, and then I wanted my own. I was like, enough is enough. I want one in my house at all times.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I told my parents, and I wanted this guitar, Yamaha C40 nylon. I still have.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, Jose, I call it. And that was the same thing. They gave it to me after I learned guitar. But by the time I asked for the guitar, I already played it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So my dad made me play 2 entire songs and sang while playing for my cousin, which was a musician. And then he's like, so is she ready for her own guitar? And my cousin's like, yeah, she's ready. And then my cousin came to the Guitar Center of Brazil with me. And got it for me. And dude, I never let go of that guitar.
Well, yeah. I still have mine, my first one. Awesome. My Squire Strat. I want to take it to Mike Longacre to fix up the electronics in it. They're a little worn out, but
yeah, do it.
It's so cool because it's got the white pick guard, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like yellow now because it's so old. Like people try to like make new pick guards look like they're yellow now. So like it's naturally cool.
Dude, it's vintage. Leave that shit there.
Oh, I know. I love it.
Don't fuck with it. The other day I was at your house and we were listening, you know, to some of the new stuff I've been listening to. Mm-hmm. Are you listening to anything new?
Right now, I'm searching, you know.
Nice.
I'm searching and I'm trying to get inspiration from other places.
Totally.
Let me think about that because it's really been kind of few and far between.
Your Spotify, see what you've been listening to. That's
I like catching up on shit from like all my favorite singers and stuff, you know.
Oh, that's nice.
God, that's a hard question. I listen to I listen to anything from like gypsy jazz to like folk music. Mm-hmm. Like there's a band called the Rosenberg Trio.
Yeah, they're
and Stokelo Rosenberg.
Did we get tickets?
Yeah, we were gonna go.
And then they didn't fucking come.
Yeah, we were gonna go see them up in Mill Valley, up in Northern California.
I haven't heard them since.
And at a gypsy jazz music festival, and their visas got denied.
That's incredible.
But I love gypsy jazz music. I love folk music. I love like I've been there's a band called Wolfpack. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're just incredible, like funk. They're an incredible funk band. If you ever get a chance to, Philip Clark just turned me on to their.
Cool.
They played Madison Square Garden. They have the video and the audio. Like they're killer musicians. And I listen to but I'm still searching for like new stuff that I can be like, wow. I mean, I have one thing that I think has bummed me out is like there's no bands I can follow right now.
Well, I'm following Marcus King.
Oh yeah, I love Marcus King.
And I'm following Billy Strings.
Mm-hmm.
Every single podcast I mention them, people are like, shut up about it already. But today I discovered a band that I really liked, and they're not necessarily like huge or anything, but they're great. And their name is Hello Forever.
Hello Forever?
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. Oh, another guy I've been listening to, you're going to get a kick out of it, is Yamundu Costa. He's a Brazilian guitar player, and he plays acoustic, and he plays like classical-ish, but more like Latino classic acoustic guitar style. It's wonderful. It's amazing. The Wood Brothers, it's another one.
I've heard of them, yeah.
The Wood Brothers, I Got Loaded. It's a great track. Humphreys fucking McGee. Do you know that band?
I know who they are, yeah.
Yeah, this whole jam scene is super fun. That's a great way to expand your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Just by listening to these things you're not usually used to hear from music. It's awesome. You go like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was cool. I don't know if I like it. It's making me feel things.
Yeah, there's some stuff. I'm all over the map. I'll hear shit that's like 80 years old and be like, this is my new thing. Like Django Reinhardt or
This is my new thing. Me too.
Yeah. But I'm mostly like I hear like a band, I go, oh, this band's okay,
Yeah.
But I never feel like that band is like my band until there's like that song, at least one song where I'm like, this is a great fucking song.
See, that's my Marcus King right now.
Yeah.
But you've known Marcus King for years now.
Yeah, I've been listening to Marcus King for like 4 or 5 years.
And I give you shit every time we talk about it because I can't believe you didn't tell me about him. Perhaps you did, but we drink too much.
Probably
to remember. But yeah, that's it. Now I know all the repertoire of Marcus King because I've heard all the albums. What I think which is great, but it's not great at the same time, it's when it's a new band and they don't have a lot of stuff out, maybe 3-4 albums, but then you eat up in like a week through all of the songs and albums and videos and everything, and then you're like, I want some more.
Well, I think it's funny that like our parents got to experience our favorite bands linearly. Like they my dad remembers when Sgt. Pepper's came out.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Everyone in the world heard it for the first time. We get all of it at once.
We binged on it.
Yeah. It doesn't have the same effect,
Totally. It's nice to have the material there, but it's nice to see it coming out and see and listen and feel an artist developing their sound and becoming who they are. And then years later go like, oh, I was there for that.
Yeah, I mean we can get that feel when we listen to the albums, but it must have been a cooler thing to actually experience it live.
Oh my god, I know, like Led Zeppelin? Don't even fucking start me. You're wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt right now.
I am.
It's your favorite album.
Yeah, Physical Graffiti. I got 3 of these shirts.
Did you just buy them together?
Yeah, I bought one and then it had a rip in it, and then they sent me another one, and then I got the black one. Well,
gear. What are you using as far as gear right now? In a nutshell, guitars, microphone, pedals.
Oh, so as people who know me know that I'm I love guitars, but I'm more an amp guy than a guitar guy.
You are an amp guy. You've got the fucking amp down.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to have been able to acquire some incredible amps. I have a 1965 Deluxe Reverb.
I love that
I use.
amp.
That was literally dying on me, and then Mike Moody brought it back to life.
Nice.
Bit magic amplification, and that's my favorite amp that I've ever played through. But I also have a 1967 Fender Vibrolux Reverb, which it's like the perfect cross between a Deluxe Reverb and like a Marshall. And then I also have, back to Mike Moody and Magic Amplification, I have one of his very limited number of amps called the Crossroads. It's an 18-watt amp that I play on gigs that's usually one of the guitar player or a three-piece, because it's not super loud.
Oh, okay.
Perfect for like a Hennessy's gig, you know?
Okay.
And then I have a 72 Princeton Reverb, which is like that's my amp that I play with like just percussion or just, you know, quieter gigs. So
are they all tubes?
All tube amps, yeah.
Fucking A.
Oh yeah. If I ever owned one solid state, it'd be the Roland JC120, the Jazz Cores.
Mm-hmm. You should have a band called Tubes.
Tubes. There is a band called the Tubes.
There is?
Yeah. They have some famous songs, actually.
Shit. Remember when we wanted to start a band?
Yeah, right.
And then I came up with, what was it? The Talking Heads.
Yeah.
And you're like, bitch, that was already a band called the Talking Heads. I'm like, great.
But I also play, I have two Telecasters. I have the one, my favorite guitar, my number one is a Fender Tele Plus that Mike Longacre at Mike's Guitar Parlor.
Yes, I got my Hummingbird there too.
He took it. I've had it since I was 16, and I loved it, and I love it's the best neck I've ever played on. But there was something going on with the electronics, and he just dialed it in absolutely perfect.
Oh, nice.
So that's my number one. I also have a Les Paul that you know.
You do have a Les Paul.
I have a Mike Mcguire Telecaster that I bought off. Yeah, that.
When you play.
Thank you.
I can't play.
It's
shit.
Mine's
sounds so good.
Mine's got that baseball.
I think it's because it comes
neck.
through the tubes. You know, the tubes that you have.
Yeah.
Too. It's a combination.
The one thing that I think is a travesty though is when people strum a Les Paul. It's like you see Taylor Swift, she's got a Les Paul and she's strumming or something.
She's not a musician.
Shut up.
So.
Yeah. But yeah.
We're ready to talk shit about two fucking artists here.
Mark that
it's
down.
It's gonna be a polemic fucking podcast. And we don't lie here.
Yeah, right. We don't pull punches. But then I have my Mike Mcguire Tele that I bought off Scott White that I absolutely love, and my Stratocaster. And I use, as you know, a shit ton of pedals.
Yeah. But you have acoustic guitars too.
I do. I have a Martin CP2.
Which one are you using live these days?
Acoustic?
Yeah.
That one, the Martin.
One,
that's the only real one that I have.
Well, you gave me an acoustic
I
back
did.
in the day, Martin. Remember?
Do you still have it?
I do. Yeah.
And then I use you know, I have a really nice Alan Heath mixer. I use my gigs, the Z10. Mm-hmm. And QSC speakers.
Yeah.
And my main sound on the electric side is 5-in overdrive. There's a company called Nobles, Nobels. They make a great overdrive called the OD1 Mini. It's just small, it's like $80. And a lot of the time when people come up to me, they go, "What are you playing through, man?" That's usually it.
Cool. Your board is pretty succulent.
Yeah.
You have a lot of shit going on.
I do, because as you know, we play a lot of gigs, and I have to cover a wide range of sounds. So what I do is, I have 3 overdrives I use. I also use a vintage Boss SD1 Super Overdrive, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. I got the King of Tone Overdrive, which any one of you out there who play guitar know that has a 3-year waiting list right now.
Oh my god!
I have 2 of them. I got one when it was a 1-year waiting list. I got one of them when it was a 2-year waiting list. And now it's a 3-year. Yeah, you just get it, and now it's like the one that I bought that was $250 is now $800. So yeah, because people want them so bad, and they don't want to wait. So yeah, right. I use a wide array of other effects, but I like to have options, you know.
Yeah, for you guys, like you said, you have to cover a wide angle, wide
array
of songs that require different sounds.
Yeah. So plus pedals are just fun to mess around with. I mean, I can still go and play a gig with one pedal and be just fine.
Of course.
I
have one too, right there.
What do you got?
It's the effects pedal, Ocean's 11.
What is it? It's like a delay?
It has delay, it has shimmer, it has echo, it has a bunch of shit.
Okay.
I think it has 12 different kinds of shit on it.
Nice.
Yeah. But I don't know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I like to use one at a time. But a pedal board it's in my mind. I have already the thing where I'm gonna put everything. So as soon as I can, I have priorities.
Well, let me know when you're ready to do it. I'll show you how to do the right order because the order means everything.
I know. I'm gonna need to get some lessons on that. Because one thing goes to the next and the next, and it needs to be in a certain.
Yeah, they call it a tone quest.
A tone quest.
Yeah, it's like once you get your guitar and you get your amp, then you gotta or you just get your guitar, and you're like, I need to find my amp, and then you find your amp, and then you're like, okay, now I need to find my pedals, and then it's like it almost seems never ending. I'm off mine now. I'm good.
Oh, it's the reverb.
But Chris Hanna and I were on this tone quest at the same time, so we shared notes a lot.
Oh, nice.
And anytime anyone else is on one, they consult me
I see people. That people come to you for the amps too. You're very knowledgeable about the amps. And
yeah, I have kind of an obsession for it.
Yeah. Well, it's great. We could talk for like 17 years because we have been talking for 17 years.
It's crazy.
And just wanted to let everybody know where to find you at Barclay Roach Music on Facebook and Instagram. SwingingLondonLA.com. If it's not LA, it's swinginglandband.com.
I think it's
either
band.
one of them. Band, right?
Yeah.
We'll let you know when the music comes out, and you please let us know when your music comes out.
I will.
Is there anything you want to tell everybody? And did I not cover something?
If there's thing I want to tell everyone is keep your shit together. This is all going to end, and music is going to save the world. So don't get too political. Don't start hating on your friends. Be kind to everyone. Everyone is going through shit right now, just like you are. And just have a little courtesy for your fellow human being. Much love.
Amen. All right. Barclay Roach at the end of the artist.
What, are you going to kill me or what?
Shit. And the way of the artist. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we drink. Bam.
Bam.